Hi everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs, and this is my 2008 Suzuki SX4. Today I'm going to be replacing the front brake pads on the car, not because the brake pads are worn out, but because the pads I have on the car now make a lot of dirty dust that gets on the wheels. It seems like I wash the car and just a few days later, the wheels are all dirty again, and that dirt is from brake pad dust. So I'm going to replace them with what I hope is cleaner brake pads. I got these Raybestos pads. Now these are a ceramic material, which is a little bit different than some of the other brake pad materials, and these claim to be less dust. Now there's no way to know for sure until I get them on the car and try them out, but I'm going to go ahead and give them a go. To do the brake pads on the car, it really is a pretty quick job. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes if you do it right. In fact, the hardest part is jacking the car up so you can get the wheels off. So let's go ahead and get started. Experts say that brake dust and other materials that you might find in a car can be toxic over time, so they recommend that you wear plastic gloves like these. The first step in the process is to loosen the lug nuts on the wheel. Now you don't want to take them off yet because the car is still on the floor here of the garage, but you want to loosen them just a little bit so that you can, when you jack the car up, you can more easily get the wheel off. If you jack the car up first and then try to loosen them, you run the risk that you'll knock the car off the jack, and that's a very bad thing. So just loosen the lug nuts just a little bit while it's on the floor. That's the right way to do it. Now, if you have a pneumatic tool, you can lift the car up and zip your lug nuts off with your pneumatic tool. But I'm not going to use that here. I'm going to use a big breaker bar. So let's get started taking these guys off. Then this one, it's always best to do the lug nuts, whether you're loosening them or tightening them, to do them in a crisscrossing pattern. In this case, it's a star pattern. And finally, this one. The next thing to do is leave the wheel alone. We'll go ahead and jack the car up. So I've got this scissor jack, and we need to have it mate with the jacking point on the car, which you can see right there. I'm raising it up to. I'm just twisting it with my fingers. There we go. Just snug it up with your fingers until the car itself starts to move. Now I get to use the crank, and I get to be cranky. Just keep cranking the car up and up and up until you see that the wheel frees up off the floor. If you can move the wheel, now you know it's ready to be removed. With the wheel up off the floor and the lug nuts already loosened down when we had it on the floor, now the time has come to actually remove the lug nuts and pull the wheel off. Now the bottommost lug nut, the tire tends to kick out at the bottom when you take a tire off, and tires are heavy and you don't want to have to deal with that. So I always leave the lowest lug nut on for last. I'll remove all the upper four ones and do the lowest one last. Okay, now all of the lug nuts are off. Now we have to free the wheel, give it a whack, and the tire comes right off. We need to loosen two bolts on this side. We need to loosen this one here at the top of the brake pad clamp assembly, and then at the bottom of the brake pad clamp assembly, we need to remove this bolt. I'm going to use a 14mm wrench. You can also use a ratchet with a 14mm socket. And there you go. The upper one is now loose. Now it's time for the lower. And now it's loose too. Just spin this lower one off. And now what we need to do is get a small screwdriver in here at the bottom and pry it up. And then you can swing it right up. With the wheel cylinder out of the way, you can see the two brake pads, and there's plenty of meat left on these pads, but still, they make the wheels so dirty. So I'm going to take these pads off. I'm going to take a screwdriver and just tap them like that to loosen them up and pull them out. The back of these pads and the back of the new pads have shims on them that are supposed to minimize squealing and vibration. So this is the old pad. As you can see, this is a Monroe, and these guys were dirty, dirty, dirty. The new pads are the Raybestos pads, and they also have a similar shim on them here to prevent squealing and vibration. Both Raybestos pads have this little metal hooky thing on them. This is a wear indicator, so that when the pads get worn down really thin, this starts to scrape against the brake rotor and make an awful screechy sound. That'll tell you that your brake pads need to be replaced. So both of these new Raybestos pads have this wear indicator item on them. To install them, you take the tab at the end of the brake pad. Now there's a tab at the bottom end and there's a tab at the top end, and that's where this wear indicator thing is. And anyway, you take that tab and you fit it into the groove at the bottom of the brake assembly. So it's in at the bottom. Now get the tab in the groove at the top. And you may have to use a tool to tap it in place. Don't whack it real hard, just give it some light taps. Getting the pad on the back side is exactly the same on the front side, except it's in a more awkward location. So get the tab at the bottom into the groove, and then you get the tab at the top of the pad into the groove. So what I do typically is I tap it down, I get it into the groove, and I tap it down with something and try to get it in place. So that everything goes good. There you go. Pads are seated on the inside and the outside. As my brakes wore, the piston in the brake cylinder was forced out, and now it needs to be forced back in to allow me to slip it over the new brake pads. It's out too far to enable it to go over the new brake pads, so I need to force it back in. And to do that, I use a pair of channel lock pliers. Use the pliers carefully and slowly squeezing the piston in. Now, depending on how much fluid is in your brake system, it's possible for the fluid to come up out of the brake master cylinder. So you may need to pull some fluid out of the master cylinder first before you squeeze the piston in. But just squeeze it in slowly until it's all the way in. The last step in putting the brakes back together is to rotate the wheel cylinder down and get it slipped over the new brake pads. There you go, lined up. Of course, you've got this upper bolt in. We need to put the lower bolt in, get it threaded in. If you got it all lined up, it threads in easily. And then use the 14mm socket on a ratchet or on the wrench and get it very firmly tightened. I'm sure there is a torque specification for this, but I just do it nice and tight. There you go, brakes are back on. Now we have to put the wheel back on. I'll do that in just a moment. But keep in mind that we use the channel lock pliers to push the piston into the wheel cylinder. When you get back in the car, you're going to need to pump the brake pedal several times. I mean, maybe as many as 20 times, so that the brake pedal is restored to its normal level. So don't forget to do that. Don't just fire the car up and drive away. Now that you've pushed that piston into the wheel cylinder, you have to reseat it against the new brake pads. So take just a moment and do that once we get back in the car. Wheels and tires always weigh more than you think they should, but you need to get it muscled back into place onto the threaded studs that come out of the wheel hub. And again, it's always smart to get the bottom lug nut on first. That way, the tire won't kick out so easily at the bottom. Snug it up with your fingers as best you can and put all of them in, all of them snug. Get the last lug nut spun on. And now we need to just snug them up. We don't need to tighten them, just snug them up, and we'll do it in a star pattern so that the torque gets spread out evenly. The only things that remain now are to jack the car down onto the ground, do a final tightening of the lug nuts, and the job is done. Jacking the car down is much easier than jacking it up. Get the lug nuts all snugged in. And we're done. Considering how important brakes are to the safety of the car, that really is amazingly easy. I mean, really, 10 or 15 minutes and you're done with each side of the car. Hey everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs. Thanks for watching.